Hey, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to be talking about why most home service companies do not employ outbound commercial salespeople. Hi, my name is Raleigh from PMHOA.pro, and we help home service companies build profitable and long-term relationships with property management companies and HOAs. More information in the description. So in this video, what I wanted to talk about was this is a very important, and I think this will be a very insightful video on why most home service companies do not employ outbound commercial salespeople. And I'm speaking from experience here. I have literally gotten on a Zoom presentation, had a Zoom discussion with 300 or more home service companies across the United States. And what I found to be the case was that the majority of companies I spoke with did not have this person on staff. A few of them did. And what is this person, by the way? This is the commercial salesperson, the business development director. Another title would be outbound commercial sales, B2B sales. Essentially, this person's role is to reach out and try to build relationships with the commercial contacts in their area, right? Most notably would be property management companies and HOAs for a good reason. So as I was talking to these companies, I found it to be very true that under a certain revenue, let's say roughly $18 million a year, $15 million, they really didn't have anyone doing that work. They had plenty of inbound salespeople taking calls and meeting customers and doing estimates, but they didn't have anyone doing outbound sales, okay? Commercial sales, business development sales. It was really only companies that had a strong revenue stream that had this position employed. And I want to talk about why that is. And the first reason that is because this person tends to be a fairly expensive person to hire. I know the exact amount that so if you look at the United States as a whole, and you look at all the business development people in home services, on average, it comes out to $78,000 a year, base plus commission plus hiring expenses, all that stuff. That's the number that is typically stated. And another reason why this person is hardly employed is because of the varied amount of skills that they need to have. So when you think of inbound sales, what you think about is someone that you've hired more than likely on commission or a small base that is taking calls, they're meeting customers out in the field, and the way they get in front of those customers is because of your marketing dollars. You're running the ads on Google, you're running the ads on Facebook, on Yelp, Angie's List, Home Advisor, House, whatever it is. Those calls are coming in, paid for by the company. All that salesperson has to do is be, a courteous gentleman and, meet the customer, address their needs, and close a deal. That is a skill set, no doubt about it. But it's certainly not as diverse of a skill set as what I'm talking about here, which is commercial sales, outbound commercial sales. It's a different skill set, and I just want to briefly touch on what are the key differences here. So it requires a highly different set of skills than internal sales, and I want to talk about what those differences are. Let me show you this here. And I've talked a little bit about this in other videos, but I just want to go into what's the expected. What is the expected skill set of this person? Actually, let me change this here and put business development. All right. Okay. So here's what's expected of them, and you could imagine this to be the case. Number one, this person has to know how to generate their own leads. When you put someone out into the world and say, okay, I want you to go out and I want you to find all the commercial contacts in our neck of the woods and build relationships with them. Well, the first step is to even identify who those commercial contacts are. That's the process of lead generation. It's not enough just to know who the companies are. Yeah, you can do a quick Google search and know who a majority of those companies are. But you also have to identify who the key decision makers are. And then one level down from that would be, how do I get in touch with them? What's their direct contact information? How do I get in their email? Otherwise, you're going to be spinning your wheel. You're going to be fighting an uphill battle trying to get through the gatekeeper. We all know what that's like. If you've done sales for any length of time, business to business sales, that's one of the most time-intensive part of the process. Lead generation, step one. This person, business development, outbound commercial sales, needs to know how to produce competitive advantages. Do they know how to articulate the vision of the company in a way that resonates with the customer? This is a different skill set. They have to look at the big picture of the company, make sense of it, and share it with the customer. Creating the presentation. If you don't have a presentation for commercial contacts, I don't care if that's restaurant owners, retail, developers, property management companies, you're missing a very key component, because the professionalism of having a presentation for some of these astute buyers is, cannot be overlooked. You have to have it. And this person is expected to do it if you don't already have it. They also have to be good writers, producing additional sales literature, marketing pieces, emails. This is something that they're going to be using a lot in terms of communication. Emailing. People say, well, Raleigh, what's the big deal? It's just email. Well, yeah, it's just email, but imagine if you had 1,000 people you needed to email and follow up with and keep in touch with. If you don't have an email strategy, you're going to be burning up all the company time over email. So you really need to have a strategy with email. It's not just enough to send 3 emails a day when you're trying to earn someone's business, and you need 8 to 12 interactions. We'll talk about that another time, but 8 to 12 interactions with that person before they'll move forward in the sales process. Telephone skills. Many people will open the email, but many more need to be called on the phone to move them forward in the sales process. You need to know how to handle objections. Do you have rebuttals? Can you get through the gatekeeper? Do you have the persistence? Simply even just trying to pick up the phone for an hour and dial out, most people run away, after 3 hang-ups or something. Telephone skills is a different skill set. Presentation skills. Can you present to the customer? Can you hold their attention? Can you deliver a presentation that really answers and addresses all their questions and their concerns? And then, of course, the most important part is the follow-up. Does this person, outbound commercial sales, have a organized follow-up process? Let's put it this way. If you even had all the property management companies, HOA, sitting in front of you, let's say you're sitting in an auditorium filled with the decision makers there, you gave the best pitch of your life, everyone was on fire, 3 days later, they'd forget all about you. We know that's the case. So you need to have an organized follow-up process that doesn't burn all your company time. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting valuable resources. So that is typically why this person is, it's someone that is not as often hired, because the diversity of the skill sets is extreme. It really is extreme. And it's easier for them to focus on internal inbound sales, because that system is a little bit easier to follow. Usually it's commission, like I'm saying. And, that's the most simplistic way to generate business would be to hire inbound salespeople with of course, adequate marketing efforts. But the point is that this person can bring in tremendous amounts of business. Like hundreds of thousands of dollars in recurring revenue every year, millions of dollars in recurring revenue every year. That's why they're so vital. And that's why they're always employed at bigger companies. But anyways, getting to the point, last thing would be, there is one tremendous downside of hiring this person, and that happens to be, I hear it all the time, is that person steals the relationships. I won't talk about this too much, but just keep this in mind. If this person is going out into the field, building relationships on your company's behalf, those relationships are that person's duty and responsibility and their highest priority. You could imagine that the rapport they'll build with the customers, they can then pawn it off and take it somewhere else. I've literally heard that a few times, and I've spoken with people that's what they were intending to do. It's kind of shady, but anyways, so there's some risk involved in hiring this person too for many companies, and I feel very strongly that what we bring to the table at PMHOA Pro is the answer to that. It addresses all those concerns, and it presents a better deal all the way around. So if you're interested in building relationships with property management companies, HOAs, you want to learn more, you want a live demo, no problem. We help all these types of industries, and we have a particular sequence. It's called the PMHOA.Pro sequence. It's been proven. We have endorsements, all that good stuff. More information in the description below. And thank you very much for watching.